Great grand rising, grand afternoon, grand evening, grand night, if that's where you are tuning in from. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Again, I apologize. I'm a couple minutes behind, but we are here for High Frequency February. High Frequency February. And we want to take this entire month and get activated to raise our vibration, to dial into a higher frequency that will be able to manifest the desires we have. With that being said, let's activate the success mind. We want to take a good healing deep breath in. Exhale. Relax. Relax. Relax deeper. Relax deeper. Relax deeper. Turning that focus inward to the rich inner life. Deep breath in. Exhale. We relax from the crown of the head to the sole of the feet, tapping into the rich inner life, the kingdom that is within. We tap into infinite wisdom, infinite source, infinite power, infinite knowledge. We tap into our God self, and we're open and we're ready to receive all the good that we desire and deserve. Last time for the power of 3, deep breath in. Exhale. And it is so. And it is so. All right, lovelies, go ahead. Come on, give me a great grand rising. Let me know that you are here today. We're going to go ahead and put the banner up for you to continue to join us. This will be open right now, but you're going to get your greatest benefit and your greatest discount if you come on in this month. All right? So with that being said, beloved, we are here for High Frequency February. Hey, Jewel, thanks for joining us live. We'll see you in a few. All righty. High Frequency February. So let's look at this, beloved. When we talk about high frequency, last week we started on the journey. We started on the journey of taking this deep dive into gratitude. And so what my aim and my goal is for this month is for us to use this simple but profound tool of gratitude to bring us into higher vibrational frequency. We want to do this on purpose. So let me help you to understand when you start traveling and when you start going into higher dimensions of awakening your divine sovereignty. One of the key things that you can understand to let you know that you're shifting is, number one, your interest and your focus will change. The things that you used to be interested in, you're not, right? We used to have that saying, if y'all remember when we first got saved, air quotes, right? That how everything changed. You didn't have the same outlook. You didn't have the same views. You didn't have the same interests. We used to sing songs. I looked at my hands and they looked new. Y'all remember that? Looked at my feet and they did too. Because at that point, we had broken through the veil of 3D, dense reality that is here in this present reality. We had broken through that and we had tapped the spiritual dimension. We had tapped higher dimension for the first time. And I don't know, for those of you that have had that experience, we called it getting saved back in today. Today it's an awakening experience. We realize that, not just people who profess a Christianity have these awakenings and these breakthroughs spiritually, but people all over the world are having these awakening experiences. And right now, as a collective, there is a great awakening happening. I know you may have heard people say this because it's not nothing hidden. Everybody pretty much is tapped in, if you want to be tapped in, that there is a split that's happening. Grand Rising, Reese, thanks for joining us live. There's a split that is taking place in the earth realm. And some people call it the 5D earth, right? Some people call it the new earth. It doesn't matter so much what you call it as much as what you recognize and you understand what's happening and what's going on. So there's a split that is happening. A lot of people will remain in 3D Earth, still bombarded by all the craziness, all the chaos, everything that's on that timeline. But many of us have awakened to a new earth, to a new dimensional frequency. And so for this month, we want to focus in and give intentional focus to raising the vibrational frequency. So number one, this is how you can tell when you are shifting, right? And so in SSL, in our mastery, we're going to be really focusing in on how to access the quantum realm and just really create and jump timelines instantly, right? So number one, this is how you can tell when you are awakening. You're raising your vibrational frequency and you're tuning in to a different reality, a different frequency, okay? So when we say a frequency or reality, first of all, a frequency is made up of a certain vibration. Put that in your notes. It's just like the closest analogy we can give it to you is a radio station. Let's just use that because I'm sure everyone has had experience with changing the radio station. Back in the day, we had to turn a dial. Nowadays, we push a button, or whatever. Now, you may just scroll up or down. But we've all had experience with turning a dial, rather on a radio or television, whatever, and tuning into a frequency. Now, this is the beauty about frequency and about vibration, right? So sticking with the radio analogy, you have your AM and your FM tuning stations, and then a bunch of frequencies or vibrational frequencies across those spectrums, right? So when you are tuned into a frequency, I want you to think of it like, okay, if I'm in Ohio, Reese, New York, Amanda, Texas, whatever. So we all spread out and we're in different places. But we're tuning into radio frequencies that's in our area, right? So I know in New York on 1600 used to be, probably still is WWRL, right? 1010 wins. What is it? Give us 22 minutes, we give you the world. That's New York, right? Now, I know that we have satellite radio that tunes us in all over the world. But before we had satellite picking up those frequencies, you got your stations. And so I think here it's 1580 on the AM. And then on the FM, I think it's 106. I don't listen to the radio at all. All right. So, but I'm just saying that so that you can see that when you're turning that dial, I want y'all to talk back to me. How many remember turning that dial and going across all of those channels, all of those vibrational frequencies, and you could hear a little chatter as you're going through turning the dial? Don't y'all leave me out here dating myself by myself now. Come on, talk back to me. If you remember that, turning the dial, right, and hearing all of this chatter, sometimes you'll just hear static, right? Thank you, Jude. Sometimes you'll just hear static, meaning, watch this, you're not on the same level as that vibration, so you can't tap into that frequency. Watch this. Although that frequency is being broadcasted, you cannot tune into it because you're not on the same level. Breathe right there. Breathe right there. I'm going to stick right here and we're going to land here because this is going to be good for us. And then you keep going and you keep turning until you dial into what you want. Yes, Reese say, yes, I remember the sound of turning the dial. Thank you, Reese. Yes, right? And so, but watch this, beloved, because this is really apropos to where we are and what we experience when we're vibrating is that these stations are broadcasting all the time. But when we are not a match, because either we're too far away, we have obstructions in the way, right? Maybe a cable line came down, or maybe one has not gone up. For FM, they're under the ground, right? So maybe the right wiring has not been done for the signal to be able to be carried so it can reach you. Beloved, as above, so below, as without, so within. It's the same thing that you are experiencing, where the good that you desire, what you want to see manifest, is already out there vibrating in the quantum realm in the forms of waves and particles. What will begin to happen is that we are not yet a match vibrationally to attract that, to be able to tune in and to let the signal come through loud and clear. So when we talk about awakening divine sovereignty and taking this deep dive into gratitude, this is all about being able to raise our vibrational levels so that we can create a frequency. How do you create a frequency? You create a vibration. So let's get into spiritual law for a moment. I've shared with you this before. The law of attraction really is not a is not a primary spiritual law, although that's what we heard about coming through the 90s and the 2000s, right? The law of attraction, put this in your notes, please, is a secondary law. The primary law is the law of vibration, one of the great Hermetic principles, the law of vibration, right? And it says that, everything moves. Nothing is still. Nothing is stagnant. Everything is moved. Anything that is stagnant and is staying still is putrefying, is rotting, is decaying, is dying. You need to put that in your notes, right? So vibration, the law of vibration says that everything moves. Nothing is at rest. If you were to look at this table that all of this is sitting on, right? If I looked under a high power microscope, I would see that even the wood that this desk is made out of is moving, is vibrating, because everything is alive. It's just solid. It's in solid form, so you think it's stationary and not moving, but on a deeper level, something is moving. So we all vibrate. And as we vibrate, we create vibrations by our thoughts and our emotions. That's how you create a vibration. And depending on what you're thinking about will determine if you're vibrating low or if you're vibrating high. It's all about what you're thinking and what you're feeling, right? What you're thinking and what you're feeling. When you marry those two, you create a vibration. A vibration that is sustained over time will create a frequency. And your frequency will create your timeline. All right? Thoughts, emotions, words, actions, all of that will create your frequency, your vibration that begins to create a frequency that creates a timeline. So gratitude is a tool that we want to use to start raising the vibration again. When you're thinking thoughts of sadness, victimization, grief, heaviness, criticism, judgment, all of those are low vibrational thoughts. Y'all have the map of consciousness that Dr. Hawkins did, right? All of those are low. We want to come up on the spectrum when we get into willingness and courage and neutrality and love and enlightenment, right? All of these things are higher vibrational frequencies that will begin to lift you up. And gratitude is a tool that we can use to start raising the vibration. Now, what we want to do this month of February, of high vibration February, is that, or high frequency February, what we want to do is intentionally create a habit of deep gratitude. Remember, A Course in Miracles says that love brings up gratitude and gratitude brings up love. There'll be times when you may have to deal with people that you don't want to deal with. And I'm talking about closer people now, maybe family member, siblings, children, relatives, spouse, whatever. But they are in your life. And you may not want to deal with them today. If you can shift from not thinking about yourself, always we still have loving boundaries in place, but if you could tap into love and gratitude, think about one thing you appreciate about them, and then let love cover that, you'll be able to deal with them and have a beautiful time. You still have your loving boundaries in place. You may not have to see them or deal with them for another 3 months or 6 months or a year because your loving boundaries in place. So we want to intentionally use gratitude, and we're going deep into 5 dimensions. And the last 7 days, we dealt with everything in the body: the physical, mental, emotional, ethereal, spiritual, light body, causal body. Those of y'all that took Mindset Mastery, you understand all those different bodies, right? Just having deep gratitude and appreciation. This week, we want to go into the dimension of our living space. It doesn't matter what it looked like, if you're happy with it, not happy with it, if you're living with somebody, doesn't matter. Even if you're in a shelter right now, it doesn't matter. You want to create gratitude for your living space. And this is how we go deep into the dimensions, right? You want to hit every room, every closet. You want to hit everything you have. So let's say today, let's say you're just being grateful for your kitchen, right? First, you want to start with the dwelling itself, being so thankful, so grateful that you have shelter. With the homeless population that is living outdoors, and if anybody is listening and that is your situation, we cover you right now. And we say that you will come into shelter, warm shelter, within the next 7 days. It will be settled if you desire that. And I have to say that because there are some people, not a whole lot, but there are some who's in that and they don't mind being it. For them, that may be freedom. All right. But if you want that, we decree and declare that for you within the next 7 days. As a matter of fact, at least 3 people that will watch this, even in the future, that's not even here now, will hear this word and they'll get activated the same day. So with all of that being said, beloved, right, I want to get back to how you can tell when you are awakening, when you're raising your vibration. So when you're thinking about your house and your shelter, start with that. First of all, you have shelter to come into. Be so thankful for the ground, the area, the neighborhood around it, whatever. But when you start going deep, you go by each room. And I want you to be thankful and grateful. I want you to open up one of those cabinets that you just have stuff stuffed in the kitchen and take a look at it and say, I'm so thankful and so grateful. Look at all these beautiful utensils I have. Look at all the beautiful dishes and flatwares. Look at all of these containers I have. Just look at the abundance of what you already have. Don't judge it and say, oh my God, I got to get rid of this. I got too much. First, recognize that you have an abundance of it. You have an abundance of it. I tell people all the time, even when it comes to hoarding or clutter, that is just abundance and chaos. Abundance that has no order. Abundance that has no real attention, but it's abundance. So even if you have clutter, even if there's a hoarding situation, and our hearts go out because we recognize what that stems from, right? A conversation for another time. Even if it's that, I want you to recognize it's abundance. It's abundance that's in chaos and doesn't have a real direction, but it's abundance nonetheless. Look at your ability to create. Look how you were able to call in and attract everything that you have. You want to get in your cabinets. You want to look at your pots and your pans. You want to have real gratitude with emotion, being thankful that all along the way, either you had the money to purchase it, somebody blessed you with it, it was a gift around the holiday time, and just appreciate. Because the more you can do that, the more you're going to raise that vibrational frequency. So when you start waking up and your vibration starts shifting, your interests change, your desires change, your conversations change, your friendships will change. Number two, you'll start dreaming differently. Now, this is a conversation for a whole session, but I'm going to just hit it here. You'll start dreaming differently, and I'm going to tell you what to do with that and how to recognize when you're really in another dimension and when you're really traveling in a different way. So your interests will change, your dreams will change, right? Your appetite will change. There'll be foods that you used to eat that you no longer have a desire to eat those foods. You completely give it up altogether without it even being a struggle, right? So that's good. Let's just land there for today. So this is the week for living space. We're going to dive deep into that dimension. Let's get the gratitude going because, beloved, while we're paying attention to this, the universe and spiritual law is going to begin working in every area of your life. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if we're having gratitude in this dimension, other dimensions will open up and manifest for us. All right. With that being said, beloved, let's sow seed today. Let's open up this month, break into this month, sow seed, and let's be so grateful for this high frequency February. Have a blessed, wonderful, and amazing rest of your day. Bye now.